Hey y'all. So I wanted to do a video reading on kind of just love in general for February 2022 for whoever's tuning in. I just wanted to see what maybe we as a collective need to hear right now. February being the month of love and all. And full disclosure, I don't want to say detest, but I am not a fan of Valentine's Day and commercialization. So anyway, I'm trying not to have that energy affect your reading. But so let's just look at this as like just love. And love is, so many things, like isn't everything about it, like every single relationship, from our coworkers to our bosses to siblings, parents, loved ones, romantic children, the whole gamut here. So let's just see what this is. And I'll be totally honest with you, it's likely going to kind of revolve to self-love. So be prepared. But I'm going to use my Oracle, Wisdom of the Oracle cards here to kind of intuitively lead what message needs to come through. And I'm going to use also this archetype deck just as one card pull at the end. I've been loving this by Kim Krans. That's it's been like a profound, just knock that one off. Anyway, it's been a profound deck. So if anyone's looking for one to kind of try out, that's been a great one. I've cleared both my decks. I've grounded myself and protected myself. I just want to set my intention with you guys so you guys can hear it, that this reading is for February 2022, in particular about love, whatever, divine truth, spirit, universe, God wants to communicate with us for the highest good of all involved, to help, to heal, to love, and to serve. Okay, there we go. It's been said. And yeah, so I don't know which direction this is going to go in, but I'll tell you this, the vibe I've been getting lately as I shuffle here, they're already ready to go, but because I usually just check and pick, but the vibe lately I've gotten about 2022 is looking at 2020 and 2021. We were like really confronted with some patterns with karmic events that have challenged certain areas of our life. And we're supposed to look at that now that the energy is starting to kind of recede and think about making moves of changing, of taking what doesn't resonate with you vibrationally anymore. Really moving toward your highest and best and thinking about making moves toward that. And it might not be like we're racing out of the gate to go make those moves, but to contemplate and to start thinking and planning and, getting ready for that. So this deck's ready to go. I'm going to go grab 3 from this real quick. So I'm going to try to just check them in front of you. See if they pop out. If they don't, then I'll just grab 3. Okay, 1 came out. Whoa, 1 went almost into my sleeve. Okay, I didn't show you the first one. So the first one is community. The second one, that one in my sleeve, is poised. Now we're moving to right now we happen to right now. I don't know if any of you guys do astrology much, but we're about to have a Leo full moon. And Leo is kind of about like how I show up in the world. That's what the poise thing kind of got to me. Ooh, interesting. And not for you. So we're really looking at what probably how we are showing up and like what is authentically us and what isn't. Like on so many beliefs or how, how we communicate, like the whole gamut. It's kind of a feeling I'm getting so far. And then on the bottom of the deck, it says, no place like home. And the home to me, this is getting to me like the root chakra here, this root, like it's like the seat of your soul. It's time that we actually connect with that identity. If I have spent so many years in the Babylon facade or illusion, thinking that seeking career goals, to be a judge or to do something like that, because I'm a practicing attorney, like that would have been my path, because I'm like a terminal person, like whatever highest grade I would have gone for, and I would have just set my sights on it and I would have done it. And then I kind of realized over time there's certain costs to that approach of relationships that are just so dear to me I couldn't do, and I kind of relaxed off of that and then eventually became into this path. But so what that is reminding me of my own path of kind of releasing from these Babylon-centric, materialistic, if you guys don't know that term, but you just, instead of Babylon, I'm kind of a little Bob Marley about that. But when I use that term, it's just, the fixation of being in the bright, busy world and being like just in a materialist 3D kind of like sparkly world. Like I need to be known. I need to be respected. I need to be X, Y, and Z, have this piece of land, have this big house, have this bank account, have this shiny ship to, yacht to show people, like that kind of, you've seen those people, those people that show off all the material, like gains. And what part of your personality is kind of seeking that? This home thing is like, who are you though? So you're not that superficial person. You're here on this channel and you're looking at spiritual things because you're a deeper person. You've got this spiritual connection that you're like, it is just pulling me in a different direction. So I'm spending a lot of time on this kind of bottom of the deck energy here, but I think this kind of goes to just like, I need to fixate on that connection and that truth and allow that to affect my path and my decisions going forward. That's what I'm feeling it. So I'm going to go first to the first one, to the first card. And I've got community. And community here is kind of like, how am I showing up? Again, I'm feeling like this Leo full moon kind of happening. Leo is all about like, how do you see me? Big hair, all that kind of stuff. Hair's a little frizzy, a little big today too anyway. But the community is like, how am I seen? How am I approaching my path in the 3D world? Meaning how I make money, how I want to be seen by others. And like, have I really looked at that to see like, what are my motivations? What are my desires there? Do I want just this big sparkly career and well-known and notoriety in a good way of my talents? Or do I feel like I'm missing something? Do I feel like I kind of like jump for these like next hurdles, this bigger house, this, like the career benchmark. So if I, as an attorney, I'd be like, well, I want to be president of the county bar. And then after that, maybe I should go into the state Texas bar. At the time I was in Texas, like maybe then I should get a position or an officer position, in the state bar and kind of go up there. And then maybe I should look into becoming a judge or a JP and like just kind of work up my political path. Like you kind of get so focused on these like little things that you realize on the daily grind, dropping my kids off at daycare at 6:30 or something and not coming back till 6:30 p.m. Like it was killing me long term. I wasn't happy, and it wasn't quite that long for my kids, but and we kind of did some alternative family things. So, we didn't quite have that bad of a situation, but I don't want to put judgment on other people who might be in that. I get it, especially for 12-hour, like health staff people who got jobs for 12 hours, but it's a long time for your kids in daycare. I get it. But anyway, my whole point is like, you can set your life based on these 3D markers, and then you realize, okay, my relationship with my kids is shit. Am I really connected to my partner? I'm not feeling like happy on a daily basis. I've got road rage every day. I mean, all these things kind of become like little signals of this path ain't working. And this community card is making me kind of just think intuitively, look at how you're wanting to show up in a community. I mean, we all can't, I know we all have financial obligations, but there's some sort of flex. There's always opportunities that you'd be surprised at. I didn't think I would get the job that I have now that has all this flexible time to be able to do my job and be at home and work from home and do things for my kids and just wonderful support in terms of who I work with and work for. And I just never would have thought a job like this existed for an attorney to be out of litigation and in-house, all that sort of thing. But this is a unique position. And I kind of thought, when I manifested, when I thought about like my job and what I really wanted, so this examination, I ended up being like, yeah, instead of all that like 3D, ego satiating benchmarks, which show my value right out there, shows other people I'm a good attorney. I instead thought, like, let me get a job that allows me flexibility with my family schedule, that allows me to prioritize my health, like exercise, and really actually have that lesser stress, like no litigation at the time, I thought, because it's just so stressful to go from trial to, I was just so many trials at a time back in the day. And it's just hard on my nervous system. And I was like, I want financial abundance. I want, I put the whole load of like crazy dreams and requests and put it into it. I had like 5 or 6 things. I have a mantra and I would say it all the time. And I did it for like 30, 40 days and I stopped and I got everything. So I'm just saying there is something in terms of this evaluation, looking at the energy of what you want, to maybe think outside of the box. Okay. Think about what's really going to make your soul happy. Like now I have like so much a better relationship with my kids because I'm here. I have energy for them. I can, talk to them more during the day because I'm here right as soon as they get back from school. It's just like, that was my soul's path. Now we do need great judges and great, brain surgeons that require, kind of crazy schedules. And for those souls, I, thank you, but that wasn't for me. So you got to have that examination, or maybe it could have been me for a season. And then when a season ends and I'm like, okay, I've done that. The pendulum needs to shift. I think we all deserve that examination and chance to kind of shift. And then the second one is poised. So poised is this idea of you're ready. And so whatever these things are that came with the community card, the poised card is like, you've got everything you need to start doing this. So some manifesting, how to manifest any of those topics, you should probably start researching. I'm going to try to do a manifestation video soon. That is what first clicked me into the power of this energy between me and the universe. I realized I could actually get a response from after putting out some prayer. To me, manifestation mantras are prayer. And that shocked my life. The whole point is you're ready for manifesting what you want and how you want to show up. But it takes that kind of soul examination to be truthful and honest about why you're wanting things. And if it was the ego, can you let that go? I had to make like an actual examination of why I wanted to be an attorney and realize, okay, I'm not going to wear a power suit every day, and having that shift and being like, oh, I didn't realize I was getting an ego feed from, walking into my kid's school and them knowing, oh, there's the litigator, kind of energy sense. And my ego was fed by that, and then when I didn't have that, it was like, ooh, okay, well, I'm not what I do for a living anyway. And I just had to work on that, and I finally released that. But and I'm glad, because that was bullshit. I'm not my job. I'm not a better person than anybody. Just because of what I do out in the real world, that means jack compared in terms of worthiness. We're all worth the same, period. Doesn't matter what you do. If I were quadriplegic and I was totally dependent because of an accident or something on my family, do I want to have no worth? I mean, that just, that this is a true thing. Releasing who we are according to our jobs is a definite dogma we have to examine and work through. But the poised means you're ready for this examination. You're ready to drop what doesn't need to be there, because you're ready. So don't be scared and do it, because you are going to find out what is not for you. And then you can change your life. Because once you realize what's not for you, and you kind of release that, because I was like, oh, the political thing, my ego kind of wanted to be recognized, kind of wanted the societal nod. Oh, you're a judge. Oh, and my dog's barking. 1 second. Okay, I'm back again. But I was here. And I was saying, if I'm being honest, there was definitely some ego worthiness that was coming in on why I became an attorney and why I found continuous value in it, and making career moves and future moves based on some ego feed. And I had to just be like, that is not making me happy. And one of the key things I remember was I started really having this change of energy one year where I was just like, I want to reconnect with my kids. I feel like I'm not as connected and nurturing to them as I should be, and my family, and I was missing appointments with them and all sorts of things. It was just killing my heart. And I remember too, one time I had, once a year, I will go see my aunts, and this sounds probably lame to some of you guys, but we'll go sew. We live that was how we started it. Then it became like, hey, let's check out wineries and let's go shopping. But anyway, total. And we would have it was my sister and I, and then my 2 aunts who are sisters. And it was just this lovely experience. I looked forward to it once a year, and then I missed it because I stayed too long at my DA job, and I missed my flight, like totally blanked and forgot to leave. I don't think I even had stuff packed. I thought, okay, I'll stop home, pack it real quick, and then head to the airport. And I missed that thing by like an hour, I want to say. It was so frustrating, but it was a huge wake-up call of like, do I want this career commitment like this? Is this like, on my deathbed, is that going to make me happy? And I realized no. And so for me, tuning down was my soul's path, like to go down into a less charged, busy, frantic kind of environment was not my soul's path to stay there in a professional setting. It was to settle down, to be in my relationships, and that's just for me. And that was a choice I made. And it was a deliberate choice because I thought, you know what, I'm getting, I could go for judgeship where I was, and I just thought, but that means other decisions, that means taking away from my family. And I couldn't say yes to that. And I know that people can balance. I don't mean to, but for me, it wasn't going to work. So you're going to know in this examination what is not for you, and kind of be at peace about it as much as you can. It's okay if it's not immediately that you're like shocked at the fact that, wow, I might be dropping this label of, doctor, lawyer, whatever, teacher. You have 5 generations of teachers in your family, and you're like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And you're really feeling to do either a metaphysical thing or who knows, like a travel writer. I mean, that might be, if you're feeling it and you get this confirmation, you'll know. And just know that once we have this examination and this realization, it's like the Wheel of Fortune and the Tarot card. It's, the line with the sword. And when we have that understanding, that sword, it's like getting an Ace of Swords. It's like a divine download from God, confirming, okay, they learned this lesson. They realized that they weren't prioritizing these relationships. Okay, now click, the wheel can shift and bring you fortune of either the next job or whatever this resonates for you in your life, the next whatever version that would be more healing and for your highest and best. If you believe in the concept that as long as I set out an intention to live my highest and best, and that I'm trying to make moves and clearing of this energy and examination of my soul so that I can keep fine-tuning toward my highest and best soul path, God's going to bless you with that. And and that's just kind of like my root belief that I always go back to. So like I was saying then, with all this, look at how you're showing up. It's typically is career with community, but it could actually be like your relationships, your friendships, how you are in your family structure. I almost want to put that in here too. Look at all that. I mean, why not? Know that you're ready to make some changes. You might be led toward removing things, not for you. But it's also that you can get into the knowledge and authenticity of who you are. People who don't do this work don't have this root. And you can kind of figure that out with them. What they'll do is they'll kind of absorb personalities of people that they kind of like and who they see kind of get approval of being authentic. And they'll try that on in the situation, and they'll try it on in this other. So they kind of become a little chameleon-ish. They don't know their root. So they grab others and like mimic it. It's not peaceful in their heads and in their energy and their mental state because it's not their truth. They don't know who they are. So people who have had this kind of, and I don't want to say that it's always people who are grabbing others. Sometimes I have had lived in a state of being where I didn't know this rooted truth of who I am. Sorry, I keep getting interrupted. And so I was saying, like, so when I had this kind of going on before, I'd kind of done this examination where I feel like now I kind of like know my personal truths and intentions. So it's like before I would be like real unsure, oh, am I did I say that? No, did I mean that in a certain way? You kind of like second guess your motivations in various situations. And now it's just like, that's been cleaned up. I know how I operate. I try to, and you just don't have quite this like self-doubt or questioning about like your value and like how, like, I don't know if you want to say how good you are as a person or anything like that. It's like, no, I know what my intention is. So this has all been really good for me to kind of like settle into that. And then a lot of my anxiety about how people perceive me, it's like I can drop it because I already know who I am. I don't need anyone else to tell me. And then when you hear criticisms that are untrue, or things people are assuming about you that, are untrue, it's like that stuff doesn't bother you because it's like having this internal, like, I know who I am. And it just gives you so much more spiritual confidence. I almost forgot about this other set of the Oracle, of this different Oracle set to talk about in this reading. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry y'all, I got it together today. So I'm going to pull from this one. It's the Archetypes by Kim Krans. I'm just going to add one more to this discussion. One more Oracle. So they're like little diamonds. They're pretty. They're round. I'm just going to pick one to go with this reading. Ooh, how funny. I'm all talking about being a judge. This one's called The Judge. Okay, let's look it up. I don't have all these memorized yet. They've been really cool, though. They're really heavy. Kicking my spiritual butt lately. Okay, so here's what it is. The judge has an incredibly important job. They work every waking hour of every day, helping us discern what is safe, true, and just. When this archetype remains unconscious or is captivated by fear, wise discernment turns into painful judgment of self and other. Oh, how interesting. Ironically, the judge's energy can be the seed of racism, bigotry, or fear-mongering. This is the judge out of balance, building walls, separating from other. When this same discerning force is made conscious and healed, however, the judge may be found advocating for civil rights causes, standing up for the underdog, providing resources for those in need, and forgiving again and again. Love is the deciding factor. Awakening this archetype is essential for the complex times we are in. Get your judge in order. The world needs it. This is really interesting. I think a lot of it, and it says here, when it's in the light, meaning like in its good energy, it's discernment, advocacy, right action, compassion, which is really interesting because I was talking about, my whole even approach to being a judge in my career, thinking that was like the pinnacle. But I think we become our judge, and when I put this kind of reading kind of together with this particular oracle card, is that we're looking at things like it says when it's not known, when we're not sure of who we are, we can really get confused and go into like that unfair criticism, the horrible versions of judgment, because it's not tied to our soul. When we're tied to I'd say when we are connected and rooted and we know who we are and we're really examining like our motivations for why we're showing up in the world the way we are, which you can really take to anything, like how I show up and like why I choose what I do for a living, to how I'm showing up with my friends, to how I'm showing up with my family, like everything. This really becomes a kind of peanut butter spread kind of spiritual message. But and it kind of goes to these people I told you, that if you don't know your root, and even I had this in my life, I remember being just feeling insecure at various phases in my life, more triggered than others. And I have seen people triggered by their lack of internal examination and how they've responded to crisis. And, you can tell when someone's done this work and when they haven't. That sounds really judgy. All I mean is, it's not a good energy to be around, and it becomes apparent. The people who haven't done this can get really triggered by you, for you standing in your truth. And if you're solid in you having a certain stance because that's how you resonate, that's your vibration, those people that are being triggered can kind of be put in their place, which is like not in your zone of like I care. Like, yeah, you can kind of just, I don't want to say dismiss them, but yeah, you know that that's not going to affect your self-worth. And it's just not fun being insecure and triggered in life. It's not a healthy way. You don't make good decisions, especially out of crisis. Like, you end up hurting yourself and making decisions to either over-medicate, isolate. I mean, the whole gamut of like, not great, not high vibe. And you can kind of cycle there for a long time unless you are kind of doing this work. And I think the whole point of the judge is just like, look at your situation, look at your motivations, in particular, which came up like in the, like how you come up into community, like how you're showing up, your personality in various groups that you can kind of, that are coming to mind as you're hearing me talk, or especially with work. If you're out there, you know, how, or if you're a stay-at-home parent, like how is your energy about accepting that? How do you feel when you do talk to people outside of the home and you explain what you do for a living? And it is doing very significant work. Like, do you know that? Do you know that? Have you been a judge and looked at this and looked like what your soul's truth is? And like, no, I have value and I know it. And so when I encounter these people who are wrong on this other dogma, I don't inhale their bullshit. You know, I don't take on that bad energy. And then you yourself, you know, when you're in crisis, when you get approached by someone who's attacking you, you know, you're going to just be able, or criticizing you, even the light stuff, like you're just going to be like, no, it's not going to bother you like it used to. So I just wanted to add this oracle in real quick. Can't believe I almost forgot. Thanks, y'all. So I hope this reading helps. I know it's kind of an oddball love one, but that's what came through. And I hope it helps for you for this month. And yeah, I just appreciate you listening. All right, guys, you take care. Bye.